Welcome back to another Axis and Allies 1942 League game. Today I'm playing Major Payne. So let's take a look at his profile. As you can see, he's a high-ranked platinum player. Was in top 10 last season for both sides, so very skilled player. So let's hop into the game. Okay, interesting. Did the standard purchase. Hit West Russia, got average. Got really good results in Ukraine and actually decided to pull out. So normally that's a tough spot. I was excited to see I kept Ukraine, but when he only lost 2 infantry, that makes things a little difficult. Yeah. Normally when I see this, I want to stack Ukraine here, but I think he kept enough units to where I can't actually do that. He only lost 2 and killed all but the fighters, so that's a tough start. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of trying to muscle my way through Russia, I could do a tank rush. I could try to stack Ukraine and trade Caucasus maybe for a turn or two, but the problem is you lose control of Karelia when you do that, and that's bad. So instead, I'm just going to try to slow play him, get a bomber, delay the UK fleet drop for as many turns as I can, and we'll reassess from there. I am quite behind, but I don't feel like doing the sub-split attack. It's just too high risk, in my opinion, to do that. Kind of want to find a job for these guys. Wait a minute, do I have odds on Caucasus? I'll just quickly see what that looks like. No, I don't have odds on Caucasus. I have odds on nothing. This is a messy start. Should I do the sub-split where I hit C-Zone 10 as well? I guess I don't need to since I have the extra planes. I kind of hate when I get a bad start and then I just play standard. That usually feels wrong, but we'll try it out this time. Nice. Okay. Well, that was the low side of average for that fight. Suppose I can't complain too much about my rules here, but it's gonna be a pain dealing with a Russia that's this beefy. So let's do our usual trap. set up all of these guys here. I'm gonna try to lay a bunch of fights. He's probably feeling pretty good right now with how many troops he's got. So I'm gonna try to lure him into over trading by having 2 units here, you know, a couple units here, to give him some choices to see if he wants to exchange his units for mine or just trade more conservatively. Let's change our defense profile to submerge with anti-aircraft. Oh goodness, I have a lot of profiles. So the submerge with the fleet, and anti-aircraft dies after infantry. So this here is like a little trap. He'll see 3 infantry in AA, so if he calculates the AA dying, there's a much higher chance he'll capture this territory on first round of combat. Then he might think, all right, let's go with this. Tough start, but we'll see if we can make lemonade out of this. Yeah. All right, see you guys next time for Japan 1. Welcome back, it's Japan 1. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. He bought 2 fighters, 3 land units. Combat, he took the freebie there. Got a nice result there. We actually killed 2 planes, which is always a pleasant surprise. No hitbacks in Transjordan, which is unfortunate. He took a little bit of a greedy attack there, only sending 4 and was rewarded for it. Goose egg over in 61. And what did he hit 7 with? He only hit it with 3 units. And, oh, we got a really good result, but a little bit of a nail biter there for him, but I'll take the good luck. And overall, looking at things, I feel our position is good enough to not do risky plays like Pearl Harbor Light and such. So I'm going to first change my defense profile. I guess Germany doesn't really matter. Japan can be carrier protection. I'm gonna exit and re-enter the game. All right. For my build, it's gonna be 3 transports, a tank, and an infantry to put a little India pressure on. We're going to take out the freebie transport because who doesn't love free? Okay. Kind of feels awkward sending more artillery than infantry here. This should be safe with just 1 fighter. Okay. Let's see how it goes. Nice. As soon as you see the 2 battleships hit, you know everything's going to be okay. One hit. Okay. Nice. Ironically, Buryatia is the most important one to not get a hit back in. Okay. Nice. Okay, so pretty good turn. We got, normally when you skip Pearl, Japan loses 2 to 3 infantry. We lost 2. That's the smiley face side of average, which we will take. Oh, I can't put a fighter there, can I? Oh, that's right. Well, this guy has to go here. Oh, I sent fighters there. I'm so used to putting my aircraft carrier there, it's a little hard to fight your old habits. This should be safe. He can only hit it with 1 fighter. And I set it for, double check, I did set it for the fighter to die first, so if he gets lucky and hits the aircraft carrier, the fighter doesn't sink into the sea. Okay, I'm feeling a lot better about the game after that weak UK one he had, because his Russia one kind of terrified me a little bit. So I'm glad we're playing standard. I love playing standard, you know, and not having to take crazy risks. It's also a little fun to have this many planes as Germany. You can trade really efficient. It kind of makes stacking things harder, but you know, if you don't have to trade France or Northwestern or lose Norway early on, the extra income you keep in the units you don't trade usually turns it to a hefty profit for Germany, in my opinion. Planes are a fantastic late game investment, but you need to be able to hold what you have to enjoy the benefits. Okay. Okay. Looking a lot better after that turn. Okay, see you guys next time for Germany 2. Welcome back, it's Germany 2. Let's take a look what Major Payne did. Got a standard buy for combat. Hit C-Zone 7 and killed the bomber. That's sweet. That's what we like to see. For, let's see. Yeah, looks like he's just sending the minimal amount to India and then pressing forward towards the Atlantic. Makes sense. I'd probably do the same if I saw Germany with this many planes. Russia bought a fighter, which is very unusual. I guess he's feeling very strong to do that. So he hit Ukraine, lost 1, got a really strong result in Karelia. He did a really middling attack with a plane and 4 units, but got a superb result. So, and he got the territory without leaving me too much to hit him back with, so kudos to him. So for this turn, I'm going to buy 10 infantry and a fighter. I'm going to leave some IPCs unspent. I don't like to get too many bombers as Germany, because the core of Germany relies on defending France, of course Berlin, and Karelia to stall long enough for Japan to save you. And bombers just don't defend well. I get one to give me more reach to be able to hit other units and give me more opportunities, but past that, I don't think it's a good thing. And I don't really want more artillery when I have this many planes, so I'm just going to bank the money. Okay, so here, do I want to stack this? I'm a little tempted to stack this. Let's do the other moves first. Yeah, I could suicide my cruiser into his cruiser, but I think I want to keep it back to zone out his navy more effectively, and I'm going to hit with oodles of planes here. And the reason for that is I can still zone out Sea Zone 8 if he drops a fleet. From here I can go 1, 2, 3. Then I can land here or here. So I'm still in a good position to zone it out, and you can never have too much overkill. So the next question is, do I want to stack this? He only has one fighter in range, which means he'll have to give up Burma, and his India will be pretty... maybe not so weak. He went for a plane buy. So I think I'll just coast, go back and forth. He also sent some Russian infantry down towards India, so the odds of him being able to safely smash Egypt are actually pretty high, and I'd like to keep this income for as long as I can. I really want to hit that cruiser in a 50-50, but I'm just going to hold it back. Make him attack it and do something. Okay, let's change the defense profile. Let's exit, re-enter. All the infantry hit. That's... what a load of worthless good luck. You ever guys say that? Like, is that where I used my good luck? This? Hitting 2 units with 10, that's where I get my top dice? I couldn't have it somewhere else? Of course, luck isn't something that's like preserved and expended, but I sometimes feel that way. Alright, well, let's move these happy campers here. I'll move this cruiser. Well, I can't really pressure Sea Zone 13s other than with a cruiser and a bomber, so there's not a lot of point pressuring that. I feel there's more value pressuring Sea Zone 10 here. Okay, I need to be cautious here. Let's see, he can hit this with 4 units. I guess I can add 1 more. I want to make sure he can't just blitz his tanks in here to take this. Guess I can bring up an AA gun for Karelia. This should be more than enough for him to say there's no point in attacking this. Right? He can only hit it with 2 fighters, 2 land units. I don't know. Maybe it's not. That looks a little bit better. Just don't want him to kill this bomber. I get very protective about my bombers. Yeah, the US can't land there. Yeah, I guess I don't know Major Payne's playstyle that much. He doesn't seem to be a huge risk taker, but you don't know. Sometimes it really helps to know your opponent's play style. Like when you play against Jidril Jippy, you better have your pants tightly buckled because that guy's going to take you for a wild ride. And then you play people like Johnny A, who tries to play so methodically and safe because he thinks he has the absolute advantage in the end game that he won't take anything unless it's extremely favorable to him. So this is a little, metagame advice. But yeah, even if he hits this, I just wipe it, right? Well, anyway, I don't think it makes too much of a difference either way. He could stack Ukraine if he wanted, but I should be able to counter stack West Russia. I don't know. Should I? It's tough to say where I should place these. I have a lot of planes. I don't think he can stack West Russia and Ukraine, right? I don't know. I don't think it's material. Maybe I should place the... No, I want the fighter here so I can reach places, more places, so I can hit West Russia with it. Alright, well, got a close game on our hands here. Catch you guys next time for Japan 2. Welcome back. It's Japan 2. Let's see what Major Payne did. He narrowed the gap a little bit during his turn. He purchased 2 infantry, a tank. Interesting. He's buying a tank there and 2 fighters, so he's going heavy planes. Took Egypt for free. Very glad I didn't stack it because he's going to have a lot of excess force that he can't do too much with. Look at that huge West Russia stack. Wow. Wow, that's big. And looks like he plans to stack here with the US. So, not a huge surprise there. All right, for our turn, I'm going to do the standard turn 2 buy, a complex and 6 infantry. Going to take a tank up here because I want to keep pressure up. Since he doesn't have any tanks in range of my stacks, which I think is an oversight on his part, I can split stack both of these, which is quite nice if you ask me. I also have good odds to take Alaska because he didn't put his tank here, and he only has 1 plane in range. So I should have good odds of just holding on to Alaska. Or at least have him have a high risk of losing a fighter, which I don't think is a particularly safe move, but I love the turn to Alaska. Forces the U.S. to drop their transport buys. They have to defend Western U.S. It just disrupts them so much and helps buy Germany even more time. I don't really have any actual attacks that look attractive to me. I mean, I could air raid Kwangtung, but I think I'm okay without doing that. Next turn, I believe I can actually stack Egypt because his fighters are no longer in range of Egypt. So I'll just put a little attack marker. His odds will be bad. He's going for the heavy West Russia stack. He might even go for that Ukraine stack that I thought was unlikely, but he's making sacrifices with the UK to accomplish that, so I'm okay with it. All right. I think this is all we need. He actually doesn't have any planes in range of Burma, which is kind of interesting. So I'm actually just going to keep all of my whole 2 infantry there. I don't want to give him 1 infantry where he can just hit me with an artillery and a tank to capture it. Sorry, not artillery and infantry to make it cheap. I want to discourage him from being able to do anything useful. So here, I think one fighter. This should be sufficient to keep me safe. Move these guys there. I guess I can move an extra fighter here. Do I want 2 fighters over there? I suppose I can. I suppose it doesn't hurt too much to have them there. It's not like there's a big imminent threat that Germany needs the Japanese fighters for. Germany has 8 planes, so they're self-sufficient for now. I'm not sure where I want to put this guy. I think I'll park it here for now. That way, if I want to defend Hawaii, if I choose to go that route, I can. If I want to defend C-Zone 46, I can. It just gives me more options for a unit that I currently don't have a use for. Yeah, I actually really like keeping this Burma stack here. Big fan, big fan. I want to get him to trade more units. I don't want him trading with Germany, with the UK. We want him trading with Japan, where he doesn't get the income back, and Kazakh and such. We don't want him trading Ukraine, which is what the United Kingdom really wants to do, where they get the income, they hurt Germany. Okay, is this safe? Looks safe here. I'm still on carrier protection, right? I guess I don't need carrier protection anymore. There's only... Yeah, I don't need it anymore. I'll just go back to the default before I forget. I'm not going to reset my profile because there's no potential Navy attacks. I mean, he can hit this with 2 fighters, but go ahead. Go ahead. If you hit that and you get 2 hits, then you've earned that aircraft carrier. All right. Well, I'm glad we kept steady in this game. After his really good Russia one, I was feeling a little nervous, but we got some good dice of our own to help worm our way into what I consider a very comfortable position. You know, having that extra fighter in Ukraine, even though it gives Russia a lot of options, Germany's untouched. It's only Russia that's trading with Germany, and they're not going to be able to maintain that for very long, with Japan marching on their doorstep and the fact that they're just have less IPC income than Germany in general. So, all right, I'm optimistic about our position, but it's still anyone's game. So I'll catch you guys next time for Germany 3. Welcome back. It's Germany 3. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. He bought a bomber, a transport, wow, he bought a lot of planes. This right here purchase is the power of Alaska to ooh. He wanted to buy a bunch of transports and crap to pressure Germany, but instead he's buying planes to defend his coast. He even sacrificed a destroyer here to keep me off his lawn. So that's pretty nice for us, all things considered. Though, I don't know if I want to take this or not, because that'd mean I might have to sacrifice a destroyer to him, but not sure yet. We'll decide that on Japan's turn. Russia, 5 and 3 artillery with an aggressive stance. Took Bellow, no losses. Kicked his butt. Kicked his butt in Ukraine, wow. Well, I guess he only had 5 units versus 3, but still, fantastic result for us. Russia can't afford these sort of fights. They're already thin as it is. I guess he's a little stronger because he got the retreat. It has 6 tanks, but still, excellent result in my opinion. So this turn I'm going to buy another plane because I feel I feel he sent too many units here into the Mediterranean, and I'd like to zone him out. I got a lot of planes, and I plan to put them to work. I'm only hitting Archangel with the bomber because I want these planes to be in range to zone out a Mediterranean shock. He only has 2, 4, 6 units, and I have 7, 8. I'm going to have 9 planes. Normally don't like buying this many planes, but I think in this particular circumstance it might be the right choice. Excellent. I decided to attack Egypt because he doesn't have any fighters in range, so we can stack it. Got it. Hey, look at that. A perfect turn. You can't complain about perfection. You can't complain about perfection. I guess I could put some fighters here. Is that the right choice? Kind of discourages him from stacking. It kind of limits my ability to pressure West Russia if I do that, but it also... This is a choice. How many fighters do I want to put there? Because next turn I should have very good odds on West Russia. Maybe I should chill. Maybe I should chill a little bit. Take a chill pill. I suppose I could send one more in France just to make it really, really secure. Let's take our profile, make sure we have AA being protected so he doesn't do some cheeky UK suicide attack. I think I like this a little bit better because it allows me to pressure West Russia. Being in France, all it really does is discourages him from putting more units in C-Zone 13, which honestly, if he wants to send more units into the Mediterranean, more power to him. They're really not doing anything. I'm going to have 8 fighters and a bomber to, you know, have a little turkey shoot in the Mediterranean if he decides to go in, so no reason to be shy. Are these odds good enough? Maybe I'll put 1 fighter here. That makes his odds even more damning. And it doesn't detract too much from the pressure on West Russia. I think that's a good compromise. They say compromise is essential in all relationships. I think I'll put the artillery there because I would like him to be out of West Russia as soon as possible, and artillery helps add a little bit more pressure. 3 fighter Russia, so greedy. Pays off over time, but I don't know. Maybe that's the right choice with a Ukraine strafe pullback, but I'm liking our position overall. Yeah, we got a nice 19 attack power lead. He hasn't touched Norway yet, which is really nice. What's our income as Germany? 43. Superb income for turn 3. So liking the way things are going, and you know, who doesn't like to have a lot of planes? All right, that's it for now. Catch you guys next time for Japan 3. Welcome back. It's Japan 3. Let's take a look at the battle board and what Major Payne did. So he bought an aircraft carrier, 5 land units, took Northwestern for free. Alright, so this was a little bit of a tough turn for me. But after a lot of thinking, I said, you know what? Let's go ahead and buy another transport, 8 infantry, which is less than a full logistics load. And I'll show you what I consider to be the easy moves first. And we'll work on the harder stuff later. This is in the category of harder stuff. I was tempted on whether I should send 2. You know what? At first I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just transport 1 guy back to and have perfect Japanese logistics. But if I take that guy out here, and then next turn I get even a single hit back against him on Western Canada, not only will I keep Western Canada, I'll deny UK the income, and he has to delay another turn or buy a tank if he wants to retake Alaska, which I think is worth quite a bit. I was originally intending, like, maybe I should go into Africa, but he has 5 planes and a sub versus my 5 units, which is kind of a coin flip fight because I have the battleship and higher attack power, and I was just kind of iffy. I'm like, do I want to take that kind of risk? Do I need that kind of risk in my life to land here in Africa or go to Transjordan and, you know, make sure have bad logistics on the transport so I have to wait a turn before I can do anything? And I thought, I guess I just won't do it. It's kind of a little risky, and I'm feeling pretty comfortable in my position right now, and I don't feel a strong urge to take a reasonable size risk for a smallish payoff. Guess I already locked everything in, so it doesn't matter thinking about it. Nasty little infantry. Let's hope his other infantry are more polite. That one was Novosibirsk, Kazakh. Excellent. I suppose that's average, 1 out of 3 hits. Real shame that he hit back, because if I had 2 infantry, there'd be a 1 out of 9 in Western Canada that I could take out a plane, which would be huge. Okay, well, he took it out. Well, not a particularly stellar turn here. I mean, yeah, that was pretty bad. Suppose I could keep these guys here because this bomber can't reach. No, I can't keep them here. There's a submarine, and the submarine is not the friendly sort. Not your friendly neighborhood submarine, but the kind you meet in the back alley that says, "Hey man, I got the goods if you got the money." And you're like, I don't want whatever you're selling. But he's very insistent that you do, so it's best to avoid that sort of folk. He once again doesn't have any planes in range of Burma, so I'm going to just chill. Yeah, I think keep that guy there. He's probably going to be obnoxious and move his subs up. I think I'm going to have to buy another destroyer. Was really hoping that guy wouldn't get killed, but I think it was the right choice to attack it. Probably, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. Subs are so annoying. Leave a little note. Buy a destroyer. Frowny face. Frowny face. I should probably send the submarine to group up here. I might need it to protect some of my ships while I build a destroyer. Yeah, he should land it right in 61. Perfect place to annoy the hell out of me. I might move this. I might move the submarine and the cruiser here to potentially take it back over to Alaska if I want to go for Alaska again. Just the battleship should be enough to defend my transports. Let's take an extra infantry and move it up. Oh god, I am so artillery heavy. No, whatever. Artillery are made to be used. If I have to treat them like infantry, I will. As Japan, I really don't value artillery except when I'm trying to take Moscow or India. Outside of there, it's just better to have infantry and planes because you don't usually fight big stacks. You usually are just like a schoolyard bully that can just take people's lunch money if you have some planes and a handful of infantry behind you. Okay, I think this will do. Maybe I'll move the aircraft carrier here. All right. I kind of feel like 5 transports is kind of the perfect amount of transports early on. Maybe you want 6 once you take India and are ready to head there. But I really love scooping these island infantry. There's so many of them, and they're really a free asset that you should utilize if possible. And it helps you take the islands a little bit quicker too. I wonder if he's going to murderize that fighter. Probably not. He probably wants to overkill this infantry since killing it is so crucial, rather than taking a dicey trade with a fighter. So let's see. We have a pretty decent position. Our dice this turn were not so good, but don't always get what you want. All right, see you guys next time for Germany 4. Welcome back, it's Germany 4. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. Bought 9 infantry and a transport and an artillery. He took Libya for free, Algeria for free, Norway for free, exposed that transport. Unfortunately, we missed Western Canada, so I have to decide if I want to attack that with a plane to try to maintain that Alaska income. I think it's probably worth it. And he hit Ukraine and used one of his US infantry. Russia, 7 land units. Ukraine for free, lost 1 arc. Lost 2 in Novo. That's nice that he's trading with Japan so aggressively. This will help us grind him down a little quicker. Downside of this is that Japan doesn't have a lot of units in the tank, so let's see if Germany can help him out. Let's do a 14 land unit buy. Let's do the easy moves first, such as taking that boy out. I want to retreat this fighter. Actually, I'm a little curious what my odds here are. He has 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 units, and I would have less than 10. Okay, I'd have 8, 9. I guess I'd have 10 units too, but that's not a good fight. Here, if I move down here, it doesn't accomplish anything. If I attack Transjordan, he can hit me with all his planes and tanks. So I have 2 options. I can sit here or I can hit this tank. And I think I'm going to hit the tank because he doesn't have any fighters in range to hit. Can this bomber hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? No. So he can only hit with 3 infantry and art, which is bad. And maybe I can retake Egypt for the last time next turn, and that's about all of the value we're going to be able to get out of 17. Do I want to send 2 infantry here? He doesn't really have any other respectable attack spots. I guess I'll go for it. I have enough units for now. I don't have to do the single unit trade. Well, glad I brought 2. Ukraine. Nice. Archangel. Alright, we got it. Son of a... Ugh. That's terrible. Well, this wasn't a good turn. We lost 4 units to kill 5 units. So pretty terrible turn. Mathematically wise. Math-wise? I'm not sure. This should be safe. He can only hit it with... He can't really hit it with that many units. Where do I want these fighters? Does he have odds here on... He really shouldn't have odds. So I think I'm just going to land everything in Karelia, and the reason for that is I want to discourage a C-Zone 3 drop with his fleet, because he can only really defend one spot where I can bring my full Air Force to bear. That's either C-Zone 3 or C-Zone 8. What can he hit Berlin with? He can hit it with 2 land units and 4 planes. Should be very safe with just what I have. 6 versus 10, yeah, those odds aren't good. He doesn't have a US guy in range. That was really bad here. This makes a big impact. I probably can't trade back Egypt. He'll probably go for this attack with the US now that I lost 2. Stinks. I don't want to send 7 there. The reason I don't want to send 7 there is because he can hit with all these fighters, so I don't actually have odds. Okay, I'll be back in a minute, guys. I need to run some math on what I need to hold Karelia and Baltic, so be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back to do this. It's actually, I probably didn't need to do the math, but as long as I send 5 tanks here, this is an abysmal hit for the United Kingdom. Just want to make sure he doesn't have another transport. Have the tanks here to put some pressure on Ukraine if he tries to stack that. And should be off to the races here. This only has 10 units. He can hit it with 6 with the UK. That shouldn't be attractive. Let's make sure I'm anti-aircraft second. I am. And let's wrap this turn up in a little box. I'm going to keep the artillery here in Berlin because I don't really care about pushing West Russia out. I'm more concerned about zoning out a France stack, which isn't going to be an issue right now, but in the preceding turns it will be. So I want most of the artillery in Berlin, not Karelia. Alright, let's look at the scoreboard. We have a narrow lead after our turn. We had some pretty bad dice this turn, but it happens. Alright, well, catch you guys next time for Japan 4. Welcome back, it's Japan 4. Let's take a look at the scoreboard and what Major Payne did. So, pretty close game. We got a slight attack power lead. It tends to shrink after the first few turns. He bought a transport, 4 land units, and a fighter. Looks like he doesn't have quite enough for a full unload. For combat, he took Egypt for free, took Norway, no losses, and got kicked his butt in Australia. Well, sort of kicked his butt. Decent result. This is definitely a stack shift target. I never understand why people do this. I'm just going to move my giant stack here and get a ton of value. Like, I don't know. Anyway, I looked at the notes. Buy a destroyer, frowny face. Alright, I'll do it. 9 infantry and a destroyer. Unfortunately, sometimes the destroyer terrorists win. As much as we dislike it. I'm going to hit this infantry here because if I kill it, it gives me Alaska for another 2 turns. It means he doesn't get it for another 2 turns, and I think that's a worthwhile risk. I think, I was going to say, I think I can stack Novosibirsk here, but I forgot he has 6 tanks, so that idea's out. It's nice if we can trade Persia. That's a plus. I don't think I need 2 planes here. I'd like to get more planes over here pressuring Europe, so I'm going to pull that bloke back. That's my idea, at least. I could, instead of hitting that, just land. I can't afford to split my fleet up too much, though. Yeah, I don't think I can land in Alaska and do what I want with the rest of my fleet. Implausible. Yeah, I know. The math's not good on it, but sometimes you do things for not, sometimes you have to look ahead at the effect of a supposedly bad battle has in other theaters. Let's peel the band-aid off here. Nice. Not nice. Well, we knew the risks. We knew the risks. But that doesn't mean I wanted to pay the consequences. Oof. Quite a few hitbacks, huh? Well, IPC even because we lost this fighter. I don't regret it. I knew there was a high chance that guy was going to get shot down, but USA -2 income, me +2 income, and then +2 income again for the next turn. So it's like I'm, and that was worth 3. So it's kind of a wash, but yeah, take what you can get. All right, so I think I have to combine my fleet. I'm going to pull this little guy back. I'm going to move this guy into Ukraine to keep him safe. Not Ukraine, Karelia. This little piggy will move there. Guess I'll keep them here. I don't really... Do I need help defending? No, I have 8. 8 blokes, 8 fighters there. We're safe for now. This should be safe, right? I'm a little anxious leaving a naked destroyer here where he'd have like a 50-50 shot taking it out, so maybe I will leave an aircraft carrier there instead. That way the odds, if he decides to go for this, it's like, I don't remember the exact odds, something like 12% or something chance, but you know, it'll be reasonable. But if he hits the destroyer, it's like a 50-50 shot, and I don't really want to give his submarines value. I guess technically, since I'm doing that, I can take and land some guys there. The nice thing about Wake Island position is it kind of forces him to build in Western US again, even though if he knows my odds aren't so good, which I do appreciate. It really slows down their pressure on Germany. Japan doesn't have a whole lot, but they're getting there. Alright, I think I like this well enough. I really love when you can sneak in a Persia attack. I really love bleeding India for as many units every turn as possible to keep whittling his stack down or forcing him not to trade, because what UK wants is to trade with Germany, and that's the last thing we want to give them. So we can take a look at the score. We have a modest lead after our turn. Still a reasonably close game, but I'm feeling very comfortable. Germany got a nice head start with all those planes, and hopefully things will continue to go smoothly. All right, that's it for now. See you guys next time for Germany 5. All right, welcome back. It's Germany 5. Let's take a look what Major Payne did. He bought 5 infantry, a transport, artillery, and a complex here. For combat, he hit Finland for free. He hit Sea Zone 52. Looks like I missed that this bomber could hit 52, so that was good on him. Where did the bomber come from? Eastern Canada. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, missed that one. Funny how far bombers can reach sometimes. Hit Libya, and we got good rolls there, so we'll take that. Archangel, no losses. So we're just gonna load up on infantry. I'm gonna do light little pokes here. Well, he put an AA gun there, so naturally I'll just move tanks in. One, two, three, four. Definitely don't want to do that. That tank has nowhere to go. I'm just gonna blitz this and force him to attack me. Take, excuse me, take this guaranteed IPC. I could hit Egypt, but I'd rather make him do something. Let's do it that way. Well, we have a lot of planes to spread around, don't we? I think that should suffice. Let me make sure. Is this going to be safe if I add... man, my screen's been doing something really weird. My screen goes black when I Alt-Tab. But I guess you guys don't see it on your end. It's very strange. I'm not sure why it's happening. Is that going to be safe? I think I can add extra tanks from Karelia, and it should be safe. Yeah, completely safe. Man, what is with this black screen nonsense? Why is it doing this? But it's not showing that on your end, which is weird. Well, whatever. Oh god, I can't see. Tried restarting the game, but didn't fix it. I've never had this issue before, and I'm not quite sure what's going on. Got it. He's trading very aggressively with Russia. I guess it makes sense that he's trading wow, there's a lot of infantry hitting. Guess it makes sense he's trading heavy because he had such a strong Russia. First turn has all those tanks, but still, I think he's trading too much. We're really starting to bleed out all of his units. I don't think he can sustain this for too long. Very nice results there. Good, good, good. Alright, well that was a good turn. Let's send these tanks down. These guys can begin their march towards Karelia. I think I'll send most of my guys... Oh, well, I don't want him to think it's safe to go into the Med, so I need at least 3 planes here in Berlin. And the rest, I suppose, can just chill in Karelia. It's a shame I can't keep the bomber in France to Dead Zone C Zone 10, but he's only going to have 2 transports there, and I think wiping out 3 infantry and an artillery with overwhelming odds was well worth the positional, the positional disadvantage there. Doesn't have any transports with the US. Should be super safe in Berlin. Okay, I like that. Shame about losing that transport there, but, you know, everybody makes mistakes. This is safe, right? Should be safe, right? I got 5 planes and a bunch of junk there. So AA protection is on. Good. I'd like to keep my artillery mostly in Berlin at this point in the game because I want to discourage France stacks. With all my planes, I probably don't really need any more artillery, but let's look at the board. We still got a pretty... I mean, it's after our turn, but I'm pretty happy with our position. I'm really liking how much pressure I'm putting on with Japan and just how strong I built up Germany. Well, I guess Japan's not that great off, but Germany's doing fan-freaking-tastic with their stacks. We got France is going to be stacked. We got Karelia really safe. We've bullied him out of West Russia. I'm liking it. So that's it for now. See you guys next time for Japan 5. Welcome back. It's Japan 5. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. A 10 infantry buy, or land unit buy, took France for free, killed the tank, traded Burma, Kazakh, hit West Russia, got to hit Persia. Okay, we got pretty good hitbacks this time, so can't complain there. So for this turn, I'm just going to rebuild that transport to help me do the island scoop. Bomber, 9 infantry, and we're banking a little bit of money. Let's take these islands. I love taking these islands as Japan because it's just like money the Allies can't get back, which is worth something. Do I add an artillery here? I think it's okay to add an artillery here. I don't really mind if I trade with Russia. It's kind of the goal. He doesn't have a bomber, does he? So I think I can actually just take these guys, right? That should be a little bit cleaner. I can move the destroyer here. Yeah, I like that. We get to use the bombard. These guys go towards Russia a little bit faster. We don't have to waste time. I was a little tempted to hit this, but the calculator says it's a negative 0.8 IPC attack, and I don't really feel I need to take that sort of risk when I can just trade him honestly. I don't think I can land 2 infantry here, but with the bomber and these 2 infantry, he has decent odds, and I don't think we need to do that just yet. Excellent. Great. No hitbacks. Got it. Excellent. Okay. Well, pretty good round. Killed, how many did we kill? 5, lost 1. So that's on the smiley side of average. Let's bring this guy down. I'm glad these fighters are here instead of somewhere else. Oh, is he going to allow me to strafe this? Oh, he's bringing a big dunk with not the Allies. Well, it is the Allies with the U.S., so I guess that's off the table. Um... I'm going to move some extra units here. I don't... If he wants to try to trade that with Russia, then so be it. Okay, do I actually want these fighters here is the question. If I do, it gives me a lot of pressure on... I think maybe I do. It gives me more pressure on Africa. And that's worth something. I can go to Madagascar. I can threaten to take Egypt, where he doesn't really have any counterplay. I think that's a strong move. And since I'm building that extra transport, I'll be safe. So you can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess I can't put the transport here. I mean, technically he'd be forced to land in Midway, but... Just not what I am searching for, huh? Okay. Is this good? The bomber can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we're safe there. The destroyer here blocks his destroyer from coming through. I won't really have a strong hit on Alaska next turn, but that's all right. And I think that's good. Oh, forgot to move these. That's why it pays to double check. Just want to make sure this undefended transport's safe. I miss these on occasion. Alright, we'll put that guy there. I guess if I really wanted to hit, go to Africa, I probably should have placed some units here. But, oh well. Anyway, let's look at the scoreboard. We have a decent lead. Of course, US-Russia turn is where the Allies get their most bang for their buck, but I'm still pretty happy with our position overall. I think we're in good shape. Germany's strong. Japan is getting there, and he's been trading really aggressively with Russia. He's down to 48. You know, with a Ukraine retreat, like, he can't keep affording to trade this hard against me, or he's gonna dry up. Alright, that's it for now. See you next time for Germany 6. Welcome back. It's Germany 6. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. Aircraft carrier and 9 infantry. Ah, I see. He bought the aircraft carrier there to defend C-Zone 3, which is very nice for us. I'm glad our giant early plane buys are getting us something, because that aircraft carrier could have been, you know, a fighter and an artillery banging on our door, versus AC just sits there and doesn't do anything else other than defend the Navy. Combat, he took Algeria, he took out Alaska. I guess I can remove that. And it's a little interesting. I wonder what our odds are in Western US there. It's a 4 versus 4. I mean, I guess if you count the battleship, probably pretty poor, not worth taking, especially since he has the bomber to retake, but interesting to ponder nonetheless. Okay, so this turn, just going to do a full infantry buy. I'm feeling very safe. Let's see, I put a marker. I need 19 infantry. Okay, we got that. Let's try to take Caucasus, trade down Russia, and get a little bit of extra income. Never hurts. I think that's it. Since we have an excess of planes, I'm going to trade here. I'm a little iffy on whether Caucasus is the right call or not, but I like... It should be reasonably profitable. It drains Russia, I get some income, and we should be able to take Caucasus back the next turn as well, so... Okay, looks good. Let's do it. Nice, no hit backs. Ah. Son of a... Well, sometimes that happens. Sometimes that happens, doesn't it? Not the best round for us. Not the best. We went IPC negative. That Caucasus kicked my butt. Kicked my butt. Maybe I'll add an extra guy just to be safe. That stunk. Now I have to recalculate everything. I didn't want to send these guys down to Ukraine. How safe am I in Karelia? Okay, I'm very safe. Darn. That was a pretty big value loss. Oh well, we'll shrug it off. Okie doke. See you guys next time for Japan 6. Welcome back. It's Japan 6. Let's look at the scoreboard and take a look what Major Payne did. So he purchased 8 land units and a fighter. That is pretty standard. Hit Burma, lost 1. Hit West Russia. What did he hit it with? Ah, you got pretty lucky there. Even the tank survived. So, huh. All right. Well, I guess that saves... That really lucky roll saved me from being able to get Caucasus as Japan after that terrible roll we had last time. But is what it is. Sometimes the dice get the better of you. All right. Well, let's continue on our journey here. One of you to there. The other, I don't care. Does he not have any subs left? Oh, the sub's over here, so I can just take this, no problem. Well, if you offer me a free meal, I will, of course, partake. I will not say no. I don't want to capture this with Japan. And the reason for that is I don't want him to be able to get this. Well, maybe I should capture it with Japan. I was like, I don't want him to double take and get that income with Russia as well. But he already has quite a few places to trade, so that's something to consider. But my plane count isn't exactly as high as I'd like, so I think I'll just keep what I have now to have overwhelming odds. Do I kill this or not? How safe am I here? I'm not as safe as I would like, am I? He's actually starting to collect quite a few units. Let's just leave it there for now. I can always trade it with the Germans if I so please. I guess I can leave it at 2 units there. Alright, let's get cooking. You just make sure there's no sub here to capture that lone transport. Good. Brought the perfect amount of units to take it out. That's not encouraging. Okay, got it. Oh, I would have been irritated. Wish I had 2 units there. This gives them a pretty good chance of capture with 1. Unfortunate. My planes aren't hitting. Well, if he doesn't hit back, I guess it's okay. Well, we got it done. We might be able to have a stack ready here soon. Oh no, this guy is going to go like that. And this guy's just going to take the freebie here. I guess you have to land there. And suppose I'll send the sub over where the action is. Or maybe, no, maybe I'll send the sub here to make it so he can't drop 23 for free. I really need to get a bomber in France, but it's gonna have to be a project for later. Huh. Where do I land this? I guess I'll keep some units back here to discourage him from hitting this bomber. Got a nice healthy ring around Russia. That's gonna make his heavy trading style difficult. He's got a lot of tanks left, but you can see he may have overtraded a little bit, and this is even after that disastrous Caucasus in the lucky West Russia. All right, I think I like the way that looks. It'd be nice to hit Madagascar next turn, or take a destroyer off of the UK's hands. Either would be acceptable to me. It's always satisfying once you finish the island circuit with the Japanese and can fully concentrate on hitting the Allies. Getting these 4 extra IPCs a turn shouldn't be underestimated. You can, well, you can see I'm at 51 here, so that's pretty nice. Alright, well, that's it for now, and I'll see you guys next time for Germany 7. Welcome back, it's Germany 7. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. Score's pretty close, but we have a lead, which is nice. Got a transport, a bomber, and 7 land units. Interesting. Hit Alaska, we got a hit back, that's fantastic, so we get to keep that, deny him the income, and that's bigger than you might think. He hit Sea Zone 4, and our good boy cruiser got a hit back, so not bad there. Russia, 5 units. Hit Archangel, no losses. Can't win them all, right? So, for this turn, I'm just going to buy 12 infantry to shore up my defenses. Let's take these juicy attacks. See if we don't get diced in Caucasus again. And he left me an extremely attractive attack here on Finland. And I, of course, am going to take that. Yeah, that should be a huge strafe for us. Let's get into it. Let's do the unimportant battles first. Right, and the big one, and I may need to hug my calculator here. Plug it into the calculator, see what our odds are now. Yeah, those hits weren't that great. Well, I guess... yeah, I guess I got 2 less than I should have, but I can deal with that. And I'll do 1 more round. It's an 8% capture. Wow, those were terrible hits. 80% capture. Okay, this is where we pull back. Well, it was a profit, but according to my calculator, I should have profited 25, and it looks like we profited 15. So not the best, but it happens. So now I need to run some numbers here. I am feeling pretty good about my overall situation, but just to be safe, I think I'm going to pull back. Well, I'm going to run some calculations. I don't want to rush and make a bad move, so I want to see what his odds to hit everything are, including Germany. So let me cancel these out, and I'll be back in a minute after running some numbers. Okay, I'm back. I ran some numbers, and it looks like I may have just been a little paranoid. I'm actually super ultra safe just about everywhere, so no need to panic. I don't really need any units there. This is really secure. Do I need to buy an AA gun? I don't think I do. This should be excellent for us. Maybe I can even add some more units here to put more pressure on Caucasus. I like the way that looks. I should be very safe. Super ultra safe everywhere. It's one of the nice things about having planes is I can kind of just shore up wherever I want. Let's check the defense profile. And despite getting a poor result in this Finland strafe, that was still a big profit. I mean, I should have gotten 10 IPC more profit, but you know, don't shake your finger at 15 IPC profit. That's going to be a huge slowdown for him in terms of getting enough buildup to crack Karelia. And right now, I am pumping Japanese units here. Russia's going to be forced to trade Archangel. UK is going to be forced to probably trade these 3 spots. So these India units are going to dry up over time. And I think our position is looking really, really strong. We have a pretty significant attack power lead. And by turn 7, the Allies should really have an attack power lead for an equal game. So I think as long as we can maintain the status quo, we're just going to get more and more ahead with every turn. The US is having to trade against our busy little transports here, and hopefully we can close this game out. Well, we won't close it out anytime soon, but I like to choke my opponents out when I feel I have an advantage. I don't like to take risky fights. I just like to let my income and trading advantage multiply until I can just steamroll over them with like 100%, attack wins. That's my favorite type of victory. The ones with no surprises, no chance for failure. Anyway, that's it for now, and I'll catch you guys next time for Japan 7. Welcome back. It's Japan 7. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. So we still have our lead after the turn. That's pretty nice. Looks like we are taking the income lead here, which is usually a very bad sign for the Allies. And he bought 9 land units, full land buy. I guess, is he feeling poor? Yeah, 29 IPCs, he is feeling poor. Alright. Failed Caucasus, failed Karelia, 1 Burma. So pretty good turn for us, hit back wise. Okay, now we're just going to do the typical 9 infantry, 2 bombers, and let's get cooking. He called my bluff here. I do want to... I was a little tempted to hit French Madagascar. I can't go to Siva Zone 34 because he has it dead zoned. So I'm just going to chill. I feel I'm in a good position, so I'm not going to take risks. If I feel my position is strong, I'm not gonna rock the boat. Guess it's fine to hit those. I'm not using the bombardment here because I want to move my fleet here to protect this transport, which is going to go take French Madagascar. Don't really have... I mean, I guess I could technically stack this if I wanted with fighters and stuff, but I don't think that's a winning play. Yeah, not a lot to do this turn. Major Pain recognizes that he has to keep trading Archangel every turn. Even though there's juicier targets for him to trade, he has to do it to prevent me from reinforcing Archangel with Japanese units. Back, and I think 2 units is just the perfect amount. Okay, we'll put 2 units there. Let's... Oh, hold on, that's not where I want to send you. We want to send him there. I don't know if I necessarily want to move the aircraft carrier there. I'd like it to defend C-Zone 36 if necessary. I can't... Ah, he has a destroyer there. Smart. I'll move this guy there. Keep the 2 stack on all the areas around Russia to force him to keep trading in his impoverished state. He only is going to be able to buy 4 or 5 units a turn, and I want to offer him just enough to make it unattractive to trade, but also not offer him stacks too big to get a good strafe off. Let's move this guy here. I'm going to move the destroyer and battleship here to zone this sub out. By putting it here, I give him fewer areas he can go to. I think I do like keeping these infantry here just to have the threat that I can go to Africa. And whether I decide to or not is up to my discretion. He can hit here with 1 bomber, but not 2 if I counted right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, dead. Hopefully I counted right, but one never can know. Well, I guess technically you can know, but I don't always. And I think we're looking pretty. Next turn I can go to French Madagascar and start sharking around for Africa IPCs, which he has woefully undefended. I got this sub here to discourage him from landing. I think, can these... Yeah, these bombers can... Well, some of the bombers can reach there. This will hopefully force him to defend C-Zone 10 instead of being able to stack everything here. I want to make his logistics uncomfortable and dangerous, and to start to take Africa due to his inability to defend his navy and land in Karelia. So that's going to be our project for the near future. We have 2 bombers. Hopefully I can move them over to France as time goes on. I think we're looking pretty. I'm questioning where I want these fighters. I want to have 4 fighters to potentially defend here and maybe C-Zone 34, depending on what he does with these. But at the same time, I do want to defend Karelia completely. So maybe I'll take 1 fighter off and put it here so I can move it to C-Zone 34 if I want, or I can move it back to Karelia next turn if that's what I decide to do. I think that's a good compromise. And we keep the fighter here to either move Karelia, hit Russia, or potentially try to take back Alaska, actually. Maybe I'll just move 1 fighter there. I always get calls in the middle of my plays. Okay, I think that's good. This is safe, right? No bombers. Oh, it's so nice he doesn't have any bombers. No bombers gives me a lot more freedom with my fleet. Even 1 bomber forces me to tighten up my play. If he had a bomber here, I couldn't do this. All right. All right, we got that. Look at the scoreboard. We got an even more healthy lead. I think Karelia should be able to hold pretty nicely. I've got another 12 units coming in this next turn. I can filter through. I could consider buying more Japanese fighters, but I think my stack here is going to accumulate much more quickly than his Karelia stack, or at least that's what I think. I can always decide to give up France if I want to, but in any case, I'm liking how things look so far, and I'll see you guys next time for Germany 8. Welcome back, it's Germany 8, and let's take a look at what Major Payne did. Still got a lead in the scoreboard, which is always nice when you start your turn. Bought 13 infantry. Looks like he's fully committing into excuse me, trying to crush Karelia, which makes sense. He took Alaska for free, and he did an air raid on Archangel, and we skunked him. We got 2 hit backs, so that's a big win. Little surprised he's doing that. I could understand, well, yeah, it's just expensive trading fighters for infantry, and we got good luck, so I'll take it. For Russia, he bought 4 infantry, fully embracing his poverty. He hit West Russia. We skunked him there. He lost 1 in Vologda. So overall, really good hitbacks by us. But he's also, in my opinion, playing a little aggressively, attacking. I think he's attacking too much with Russia. You can see how despite his huge 6-tank start, he's, well, I mean, he's still pretty strong, but not as strong as he could be. So I'm just going to do a full land buy. And I really don't have that much to do this turn. I think that's okay to just use 2. I'm just going to try to make my play very, very tight for now. I'm feeling ahead, and I don't want to take risks. I'll move. Maybe I'll keep an extra fighter here, just to give him, well, do I really need to? I guess I don't really need to. It'd probably be better to have an extra guy here to trade Caucasus. And we'll keep it like this. Try to keep these little 2 infantry stacks here to force Russia to trade out. Because if they're trading, you know, hitting here for 2, hitting here for 2, you know, and moving something into Archangel, he's losing units every turn. He's not building up, which is ideal for us, as Japan is definitely gaining units. They're siphoning in 9 units every turn, plus what I can scrape off of these islands. So let's keep it like that. I'm going to take the long route here, here, here to refill. I'm only going to do that on the turns where the USA has 5 transports when they only have 3 transports. I'm going to more likely play a bit more defensive. In fact, let's add 2 guys there. Just to be on the safe side. What's my defense profile? Anti-aircraft protection. And we should be pretty good. May have to give up France to be perfect, you know, completely safe. So I'll consider doing that. Well, we'll see. But so far, everything's looking pretty secure. Take a look at the scoreboard. Yeah, and our lead is growing. Once the Axis reaches income parity with the Allies, that's a bad sign for the Allies. Unless the Allies are far ahead in attack power. So we don't need to make anything happen. We just need to stall, maintain the status quo, and our lead will grow with every turn that Karelia, France, and Berlin don't fall. Yeah, how much money do we have? 41? Yeah, that's our starting amount. Really sweet trading Caucasus. Also helps empty out these reserve British units more quickly. Alright, that's it for now. See you guys next time for Japan 8. Welcome back. It's Japan 8. Let's take a look at what Major Payne did. Scoreboards were still ahead. He bought 9 land units, took Kazakh, took Caucasus, no losses, took Burma, so pretty decent turn for him. This turn, I'm just going to keep on going with the bombers and infantry, and I saw a unique opportunity this turn, and I'll show it to you after I finish all of what I like to call the easy peasy moves. So I guess I'll just think it's finally time for me to move these guys out of C-Zone 36. He's not falling for the destroyer bait, so well, it's just really tempting to take Egypt though. But I can always do it next turn with these guys. Heck, maybe it's not time to move out. Maybe it's not time to move out yet. And here's the opportunity. I have a 44% capture on Western US. And I mean, the odds aren't fantastic, but worst case scenario, I lose 2 infantry. Upside, I get 10 IPCs, and I might even cause him to drop a bomber, and if this is successful, I can do it again next turn. So it's a little bit of a coin flip, but I think it's a worthwhile risk. I don't know what I want to do with these bombers. I guess it makes sense to move more guys here into Karelia to make it so he can't hit France even if he wanted to. The bomber stack. That's the idea, at least. I think I like it. Got Burma. We got it. Western US. Yeah, sometimes I'm like, it's less than 50%, but I'm like, what's the worst that can happen? I lose 2 infantry, and the upside is huge. Now he has to go panic mode, assuming I actually take Alaska. Because now, not only does he have to take this, he has to retake it next turn, because I can just send these blokes boop, or this guy can just go boop, boop, and retake it. So, very tempting gambit. Low risk, high reward. My favorite type of attacks. Well, high probability, high risk. Or low risk, low reward would be better. This is a low probability one, but maybe not low probability, but below 50%. So, and this will hopefully take a lot of pressure off Germany. Okay, let's move more guys there. Check my defense profile. I'm okay if he wants to kill the carrier with the bomb. There's no way he's killing the carrier when I have Western US stacked, though. Like, there's not a popsicle shot in hell he's going for this carrier and going for a 25% recapture. So this is going to be hopefully really nice, completely disrupting his plans to shuck Finland. Might give Germany 1 or 2 extra turns to build up. And now, next turn, we should have decent odds to stack Egypt if we want it. We can take these aircraft carrier, the battleship, all his friends. I think I'm going to move this sub here to add it to the stack in C-Zone 34. Yeah, because he does have 7 planes and a sub, so his odds aren't horrible to take out the fleet, and I'd like to keep them horrible. Okay. God, I'm gonna have too much money next turn. I'm gonna have too much money, and I won't know how to spend it. Well, I guess I won't if assuming I'm gonna hit Western US, which I almost certainly will. I don't know. We'll see. But nice position. Got 62 IPCs as Japan, and we don't even have India or Africa. I like this color on the West Coast. Okay, that's it for now. See you guys next time for Germany 8. All right. Well, looks like Major Payne decided to throw in the towel. Did he do any crazy YOLOs? Looks like he went for the YOLO on Germany, which I'm pretty sure was around 0% capture, according to my odds from before. Yeah, killed 8, lost everything. Took Western US with no problem, but again, I'm going to recapture it next turn, and I'm just going to be a general nuisance, you know. That's a lot of IPCs. He's going to have to throw everything in the kitchen sink back here to make sure he retakes it. So can't blame him. I think he was already kind of losing traction in the game. I got a couple good strafes on Finland that put me ahead. Well, I guess my dice were not good, but the result was good enough. You know, when you get those IPC positive battles, you take them. So good game to my opponent. Yeah, very interesting game. Very wild game at the start. I thought I was way behind with how I started. What was the Russian one there? Yeah, he only lost 2 infantry in Ukraine. Anyway, thank you for all the new subscribers and commenters. Your guys' encouragement is what keeps me pumping these videos out. I am now only 1 game away from being undefeated this season. I didn't upload some other videos because they were just too short and one-sided. I didn't think there was enough entertainment value in like a 2-round game for you guys, so I just deleted that. But if you guys are interested in those like super one-sided slap downs, let me know and I might include them in the future. Otherwise, see you guys next time.